Greetings. This is Stage of Bliss, the Kundalini Queen, helping you manage your life force energy. So, this episode today is about having a midlife crisis. Is a midlife crisis and a Kundalini awakening the same thing? Here's the thing. It used to be that a Kundalini awakening would happen normally, naturally, around age 40. So many times in the past of human history, it was called a midlife crisis for the exact reason that it causes you to, when you have this new influx of life force, you have an expansion in your perspective and your awareness of things, and you go from looking at your life like this to suddenly looking at your life, with wider eyes, because you have opened those chakras a bit. You have caused an increase of awareness of your life, and so whatever structure you had going on, suddenly it seems too small. So this can happen to anyone and is happening to most everyone right now. So whether you're 40 or 20 or even 12, I am seeing everyone is going through this. The earth is catalyzing this by going through an awakening herself. The galactic codes and waves and energy that are hitting the planet right now, like being aligned with the galactic center, all of these things are contributing to an increase in awareness. So however you want to translate that, where you suddenly are questioning your home situation or your career situation or your, just your belief structure, anything that's coming up for you right now in that regard is because you've suddenly got a bigger construct that you're working with. More life force energy is basically what's happening. And it is like I said in one of my other videos, it's like you're in a different dimension suddenly, but you're with the same template that you've been with, and you're kind of like, wait a minute, does this template work here? So when we awaken Kundalini, we go from one dimension of reality, and you could correlate it with the chakras. You could go like first through three chakras were in a third dimensional, reality. We're working with three dimensions. So largely the human construct, the reality we've been working in is 1 through 3. We're working on very survival instincts, very karmic, family line, ancestral, and sexual, issues. And then the third chakra is creative impulses. So we have people that create things, and we generally think of those people in society as the more gifted or the genius. That's the highest dimension we've been functioning in human society up till, recently. And when we've had someone enter at a higher dimension where they've been like an unconditional love template, then we're like, whoa, what dimension are you from? You must be a master. You must be an avatar, because no one shows up as unconditional love. No one shows up as unity consciousness, as seeing the oneness. So we've tended to look at someone working at a 4 and 5 and 6 and 7D consciousness, if you want to relate them to the chakras, as being somehow an avatar or a master. So, but now we are experiencing an influx in our energy levels, in our dimensional overlays. So we're suddenly getting to try on those different lenses of healing, which is also the fourth dimension, unconditional love. We're getting to try on the dimension of being able to communicate and speak a higher frequency of understanding, translating cosmic information to an understandable and usable format. That's happening in fifth dimension. And then being able to see things through an eye of a non-dual, of a unity field, and translating that down, and stemming from unconditional love. So we're working in our higher centers so much that sometimes people are pulled up and out of the lower centers and aren't even fully embodied at all. And I talked about this in another video of physical symptoms, because if we don't bring this information from the higher dimensions down into the body and we insert them into our physicality, into the way that we have our home. If we're all up here and very spiritual and very in the unity field, but then we go into our home and it's in disarray, and the energy isn't able to ground in, and you've got like boxes full of stuff, or the stuff's not grounded into your reality, and so that it's outflowing and it's showing you back a picture of these higher dimensions, then that energy still needs to flow, because we should have a full tube torus of energy moving, which means we are connected in the higher dimensions, but we also we output it into, third and second and first dimensions of our being. So it's expressing in our creativity. We're seeing that creativity, inspired creativity, and it could show up in any sort of creative outlet. Music or art or cooking or the way you decorate, the way you dress yourself. There has to be some sort of creative expression, though, to note that that energy is moving down through that third dimensional chakra. So if you don't feel like you're doing anything creative and you've scoured your reality for any creative outlet, now most people have somewhere that they outlet it, but if you have been one of those people where you're like, oh, I'm just not creative, it's not true. Everyone has access to that energy, and so just dabble, open your awareness. What have you been just feeling like you want to do or could do? For a while I was just like, oh, just give me a canvas, I just want to throw some paint on it. And then you start to figure out, like, where, if you try some different areas, where you feel a creative streak coming through, and that's somewhere to work with, so you can channel that life force energy down into physicality. And then also feel how that connects into family or your sexuality. The sexual energy is also creative energy. And it's also feeling really satisfied, feeling like, of course you have goals, of course you have striving and things you'd like to accomplish, but you have an ability to really like anchor into the moment and be in a yes. That's second dimensional presence. And then feeling home, feeling like connected to the abundance frequency. That's our base template of being, contacting the eternal stream of abundance. So allowing yourself to breathe through all of these things, to feel yourself present in all dimensions of self. So like a Kundalini crisis or an awakening happening can sometimes yank us out of one of these centers, yank us out of feeling grounded, yank us out of feeling creative, and it might like relocate us in an area. Maybe we are getting an expansion. Like a lot of people get a third eye expansion and feel like suddenly super aware, but not super grounded in it. That's okay. Like that's the aha moment, and then you take that energy and you focus it down into the lower centers as well, so you can evolve this body too. So it's only a crisis when we keep it up, and out of our body, and it just becomes like this racing mind, or all these questions and thoughts, and analyzing, your reality and self-judgment and all this stuff. We got to bring it back down through self-love, full acceptance, and create something, like get it into the body, feel satisfaction in form, get raw into your body to help integrate, and then it doesn't feel so dramatic, and you can flow into the next evolution of your life path, whatever changes need to be made. And a lot of times the changes just need to happen in here. Like, even though at first it's like, wait, do I want this anymore? Like, that's just an initial response to your environment. It doesn't always mean your environment has to change. Like, we do the shifting internally, and that actually does start to shift things in the environment. The feng shui and environmental order is really helpful. So I hope that is helpful for you. I know in my journey, a lot of times I felt like I needed to just keep leaving things, keep moving, keep going on. As I had like another awakening, I felt like the crisis was I need to up and leave that place so I could continue to grow. But over time I've learned that's, sort of like, it's not necessary, even though environmental change can support you. It's actually very powerful to make the transition in the space that you're in, kind of like love the one you're with idea, like make the change in the space. And then the space will actually liberate you once you've reached the frequency of unconditional love and acceptance of that space, and you see the beauty, you see the benefit, you see the oneness in it. Then the next place that matches, you will move in. Same like partnerships. You're in a partnership. Sometimes it's easy to be like, oh, we're just not connecting, or we're not getting along. Like that's your awakening. You're feeling a change in you, and the partner might feel like it's mirroring something else, but that partner's you. It's like whoever you're with is showing you the other part of you, the masculine or the feminine that you're not fully seeing yourself. And so when you can go inside for a moment and just feel the calibration, feel the wholeness in you, love all the parts of you that are showing up, that partnership shifts as well to match that inner change. And then if it's necessary that another partner come in that's more aligned, that will naturally occur. But running away from the partnership is the first response, kind of like leaving a place. But really make the adjustment within, take care of the crisis within by elevating consciousness through all of the dimensions of self. And then that outside thing will shift on its own. Does that make sense? If you have questions about that, please leave a comment below. You can also send me a message via my Facebook page, Stage of Bliss or Stage of Bliss Kundalini Coach. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. If you need assistance on your journey, then also reach out. And otherwise, have a beautiful experience.